All right, what's up, everybody? I'm here with Malcolm Hodge, who is a benefits consultant. So it's funny because we just had a discussion about, what his title was. But to me, more importantly, is, he's part of the team. And he's part of building this great vision that we have for Operation Go and just the transformation for the youth in the Charlotte area and potentially across the nation. And so just tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Well, again, like I said, I'm Malcolm Hodge. I'm number one, a father of two beautiful, adoring children, Kamora and Armand, 8 and 3, soon to be 4. That's my number one job by far, which plays into why I feel the need to do what we do here.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is it starts at the core. It starts at, once we can get the kids at the youngest age, everything else falls into place.
Absolutely.
But a little bit what I do, I'm I'm in the InsurTech industry. So I provide technology for companies to house their enrollment platforms.
Right.
I also provide health insurance, private life insurance, pretty much do it all. IULs, annuities, things in the financial sector. So
that's what's up. So, me and you, we met over the past couple of months, and we've just been connecting. You've been a huge part in connecting me with other people that, are part of the vision now, who are a part of making this whole thing happen. But let's really get into it with some of the things that we're actually going to be doing. The big part of the vision is when you look at, Google headquarters and you understand why companies do what they do and create the environment that they create, you understand that it keeps their employees wanting to be there, keeps their employees happy, and it fosters an environment of creativity. So they don't ever have to worry about their employees leaving or not being creative or not being productive because they've already set an environment for that. Right. And so one of my biggest things is, number one, why is school not like that? If we want to foster creativity and innovation out of our young people, why haven't we created that environment for them? And I know once I showed you the vision, you had a bunch of thoughts on wow, man, this is crazy. But just talk to me about when you actually saw this facility and what it's going to be and what it looks like. What were your initial thoughts towards that?
Well, my initial thoughts was, number one, it was just mind-blowing because I had literally just a few days prior was saying, talking with Dr. Black about, doing the same type of deal that you had going. And I'm like, just seeing it it was mind blowing.
Right.
Like the fact that it was so interactive. It was, I don't know, it was just something completely different than the monotony and just your standard, typical learning environment. So it's something that would definitely get the kids engaged,
right.
Adults alike. Makes them want to learn.
Absolutely.
Makes them want to be there. So
absolutely.
I knew it was just a no-brainer.
Yeah. And then, with the things that we offer, that we're offering in the Operation Go program, when you go from the career ladder to reprogram, which is just teaching kids about generational wealth development, to entrepreneurial journey, to owning property, and also building their personal brand. We're coming at them from all these different angles and making sure that they're well-rounded individuals. What are your thoughts on that and that impact?
I think it's huge because it gets them thinking outside of the box.
Yeah.
Not necessarily always looking to get a job, but now you're able to create a job. And once you get out of that mindset, the sky is the limit.
Yeah.
Wise man once said, if you work hard on a job, you make a living. If you work hard on yourself, develop the skills, the mindset, you can make a fortune.
Absolutely.
So that's huge.
Yeah.
It's invaluable. So absolutely. I think it's pivotal that we have something like this in place.
And we're taking them from becoming from being a consumer to a producer. It's super important, like you said. You can work a job, you can go out and buy a bunch of things, you can go out and buy sneakers, but can you create your own sneakers? That's one of I love the program that we have, sneaker creation. kids will spend money on sneakers but don't know how to create their own brand. And one of our programs is teaching them exactly how to create their own sneaker line and actually get it manufactured for them. So every one of our programs is going to take their mindsets from a consumer to becoming a real producer of things, and that's invaluable. So, going through high school personally, I definitely tried a bunch of different things. I always tell people, I had 25 jobs before I was 23, and this is really the reason why I came up with the ideas. Like, I know that there's other people that have gone through it, that are going through it, and will go through it. And so, how do we streamline people to figure out what they're passionate about, what they love, and how they can be successful? And that's what I came up with. What do you think the impact is going to be long term for, the students that we put this in front of in middle school and high school? What's the long term impact going to be for them, you think?
Well, number one, they've already been exposed to so many different things now, opposed to just reading, writing, math, science, biology, whatever have you. But now, I think that being that they've had a jump start into seeing what garners or gains their interest, they're going to be more prone to have longevity in their fields, develop a passion, and learn early on what it takes to, like, having the mental fortitude to stick to one thing, or not necessarily one thing, but being acclimated to so many different things. Now they're going to have long-term success, or more likely to have long-term success, being that they've been exposed to so many different
Absolutely.
variety.
Absolutely. Yeah, and with the students, being introduced to these different things. Like, one thing I always say is, like, all right, kids say this a lot. It's like, when will I ever use this in the real world?
Right.
I said it. I know you probably said it. And so there's validity to that, but some of these things that they do teach in school they are going to be needed. We just don't know how they're applied. So if you want to be a mechanic, you're going to need some more math understanding than the average person. If you want to get into film, you want to know a little bit more English literature than the average person. So I feel like with what we're doing and introducing these careers to these young people, it's like showing them the correlation between their schools, their everyday studies, and an actual career. I didn't take English literature seriously, but now when I'm in film and doing video, it's like, man, I wish I would have took it seriously, because that's exactly what I'm doing here, putting together a whole a script, an outline. English literature teaches you how to do that.
Absolutely.
And so it's super important, that correlation. So, you tell me, what do you think about, like, that, us creating that correlation in your industry? What is something that you needed in high school that you utilize today? You just didn't know.
Well, English literature, like you said, being in public speaking is pivotal. I hated my public speaking class. I think it was freshman year in college. Hated it, but it helped me when I had to go do presentations and present in front of lots of employees or present to business owners. So, that was huge. So, it's something that I didn't take as serious. I was good at it, but I didn't really take it as serious. But then, as time progressed, started getting back into the books, and it's like, okay. I see now why this was so pivotal.
But a lot of our young people, communication is big, and like, if you can communicate, you can really do almost anything, And so a lot of our young people coming out of school, especially with social media, there's less communication, like face-to-face communication. And so I think that if we can really show these young people how to communicate, how to network, how to speak in front of people, that alone right there is going to shape their lives completely different. Especially for those kids who are not a part of our program and they're either stuck on their phone, they're just the ones sending text. But if they can get that full understanding of how to communicate and how to use their resources and how to network, you're going to have a generation of young people who are going to be super successful understanding their resources. So I'm super excited about that. One thing that you spoke about is, you working with youth and like how you're passionate about youth and how, you know, when you get in front of them, you're able to speak into their lives more than other people. Can you just elaborate on that a little bit?
Probably because I'm just a big kid at heart.
Right.
So, you know, kids, man, they're awesome. I don't know. I guess I grew physically, I grew mentally, but you know, my spirit is still a young kid. I'm a kid at heart. And that's one thing about having children. You get an opportunity to be a kid again.
Right.
And I just know that the biggest impact that you can have on a child is just being present. You know, and I think one of the things is, you know, we have a society. It's like, you know, the schools are failing. I think the biggest piece is it starts at the home. It starts at home. So when absentee fathers, I think that's one of the biggest problems with the schools nowadays, and why they're failing, or why kids are being misguided. They don't have proper role models. So I think it's pivotal that, you know, we reach them early, and just really caring and being there. And that's just always been big for me. I have a heart after children and old folks. Once we get them early, that can change the whole dynamic of the landscape of things. It's just, I don't know, man. It's whenever you have a lack of structure in the home, especially at the head of the home. That's where it starts. And when you have that lack, that's when everything else begins to fall. If you can reach it at a cellular level, that changes the dynamic of things.
And although we can't like fix that issue completely, obviously we can't do it right now. But I think with what we're offering, we add a sense of that structure to a child's life. You know, things that a father would teach their child, finances, you know, public speaking, how to communicate, those things. What careers are available? We offer that to a certain extent, and hopefully alleviating that from, you know, the role of the household, especially if they don't have that father figure there.
And what I meant to say was a lack of role models. That's what it was. Instead of really honing in so much on like the absentee father, but more so a lack of role models. So being that type of role model and bringing in others with that same mind frame and the heart, like that'll go a long way, I believe.
Definitely.
But
one thing that, you know, you have all these programs out there, you have all these different initiatives, and a lot of things are reactive. You know, you have people who want to help people who are in poverty. You have prison programs, or when people get out of prison, you know, you go to this program. So many things are like reactive, you know, and I take pride in the fact that our program is going to be a proactive program. Before they get to poverty, before they get to prison, before they get to all these different things, we step in and change the course of their lives. You know, talk to me a little bit about that and how important that is.
It's huge. If we can change the trajectory of where it's headed early, we can get them on the right path early, then that can eradicate or help eradicate a lot of the other issues in regards to prison reform and things of that nature. If we can get them off of that path and help them lead them down the right path, that can help like really change the dynamic and eradicate a lot of the issues down the line.
Absolutely. Man, I'm super excited about what we have going on. So is there anything else that you wanna speak about or share about what we're doing, and what do you want the people to take away?
I just want to say, man, thank you for approaching me and getting out of your comfort zone that day. I mean, it was just a divine appointment, honestly, man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see what comes of it. It's just the beginning, man.
We're gonna make it happen. For those of you guys watching, like, you know, we randomly ran into each other at our co-working space. And normally I don't just walk up to people, but something told me like, yo, go talk to this dude. And so I just said, hey, what up, man? How you doing? Introduced myself to him really quickly. And from that point on, like, I think like just that week alone was crazy with the amount of people that you connected me with, and just the amount of growth that took place in this program happened like in that week.
Right.
You know, so I'm happy we connected. I'm happy you like just connecting me with other people and making it happen. Man. So, but over this next year, definitely share what we're doing. Like when you see these videos out, share it, take a look at it. You know, talk to your friends about it, because this year is about to be crazy. Get ready, because the education revolution is here, and we're just happy to be a part of it. So appreciate it, man.
My pleasure, brother.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.